that label you wear right now? Whether it's successful, failure, or anything else, that thing defines how you see everything around you. But here's the hard truth nobody talks about: even the worst labels aren't random insults, they are survival tactics. They are scars your mind created to keep you safe from something scarier inside yourself. Think of it like tough skin protecting a wound. If you tell yourself you're incapable, maybe you've unconsciously protected yourself from trying something massive that felt too risky. And because we are wired for empathy, everyone absorbs the energy signature you broadcasted by holding on to that narrative. This brings us to the paradox of accomplishment. You think imposter syndrome hits beginners, right? Wrong. For many high achievers, it flares up exactly because they succeeded. Their real accomplishments clash brutally with the old blueprint of who they thought they were. That disconnect creates unbearable friction. People also mistake low drive for zero will. Often, when someone looks stagnant, they have a powerful engine running underneath, but their foundational identity is directing that fuel straight toward comfort or pure avoidance. We need to look at the difference between two kinds of momentum. One kind, fueled by a reactive negative identity, just stalls. The other, driven by a fiercely positive identity, pushes forward with incredible intensity, but it rarely lands anywhere peaceful. It becomes endless chasing. Because our convictions don't just describe reality, they actually construct it. What comes in: kindness, betrayal, chance, ease, filtered through your deepest operating assumptions. So, if your core programming says you deserve mistreatment, then kindness might just get interpreted as weakness waiting to be exploited. I spent years wrestling with this myself, hitting walls in every relationship I had, forcing me to build ironclad boundaries. And I worried I'd become cruel doing it. Turns out, desperately clutching a perfectly curated image of the good guy forces you into crippling guilt whenever you need to step back. Guilt sends you sprinting back to familiar, exploitable ground. Clarity doesn't come from polishing your persona. It comes from stripping it bare. Roles doctor, author, manthos are costumes the ego wears. There is an essential self beneath the costume, a quiet center that existed before the degrees and persists after they fade. When you try to nail down who you are using titles, you miss the whole picture. Real breakthroughs happen not when you earn the badge, but when you face raw competence in a terrifying moment, realizing you already hold the pieces. Spiritual paths eventually strip this away completely, pointing toward a strange place called emptiness, not nothingness, but the sheer fact of observation, free from the noise of opinion. Perfectionism kills connection faster than almost anything else. Admitting you messed up yesterday with your partner? That builds trust. Insisting you never make errors? That poisons intimacy. And let's talk about fighting battles you shouldn't fight. Chasing some monumental external win sets you up for disaster. Setbacks trigger instant defensiveness. Growth isn't achieved by proving you're flawless, it happens when you embrace the messianic strength, paired instantly with your undeniable weak spots. My early career taught me that while effort is yours alone, the result is utterly indifferent to your best intentions. Goals are useful maps, sure, but they are terrible destinations. Obsessing over reaching goal Z pulls you out of the messy, vital business of today. Presence lives in the action happening right now, not in the idealized finish line somewhere ahead. Attachment is poison. Clinging to the promise of a perfect outcome ensures devastation when reality inevitably glitches. Letting go of the guarantee of winning gives you the permission slip to even show up. But here's the biggest trap: we confuse belief with skill. Feeling confident doesn't mean you are capable. Belief is usually just well-packaged anxiety dressed up as intuition. Stop trusting the hype machine inside your head. Progress isn't about magically flipping switches, it's about building muscle through repetition, getting knocked down, and consistently deciding to stand up anyway. Your greatest lever isn't changing what pops into your skull. Thoughts arrive autonomous. Trying to police every stray neural flicker is futile. Where you gain sovereignty is in the tiny gap between the stimulus and your knee-jerk reaction. Can you create space? Just breathe. Notice the urge, observe the judgment, and choose differently. Not to erase the thought you can't, but to refuse to give it executive power over your next move. Cultivating awareness doesn't stop hardship, but it radically alters your posture toward it. You learn to weed the garden of your mind instead of waging war against every sprout. Check out Profile for podcast summaries.